Hey guys, what's up? Your host, we're here with SIMPLEKEYZ. Welcome back to another video. So in this lesson, I'm going to be teaching you a smooth Phrygian movement. Now I picked up this movement from another great musician. His name is Sean Wilson. He's got a really nice channel where he breaks down more complex ideas. And if you guys are really looking to take your playing to the next level, you can also check him out. So what I'm going to do in this video is break down my approach and what I was able to take from that lesson, and also share with you guys how I view modes and how you can use them in your playing, okay? So let's get right into this. We are going to be in the key of C major. C's are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that will bring us back to the top. Now, as always, if you want to learn how to play in all 12 keys, I do have a guide that you can download over the site. It's going to be absolutely important to have that information under your belt for you to understand modes. I'm going to be taking it a step further here from just playing the major and the minor scales. I'm going to dive into another scale, which is the Phrygian. I'm going to break down how to find it and how to use it. So go ahead and check out that guide. You can download it over at the site. And if you also want to get a better understanding of music and understand how I'm able to create all these movements and play chords from different keys, I do have a program called Master the Piano, where I take you through the entire music learning process from scratch. We go over the fundamentals, chords, progressions, and how to break down songs. So go ahead and check that out if you want to get an understanding of how I do everything that I do. And if you also want to take the ideas that you learned from this lesson and apply them into songs, I also highly recommend joining the SIMPLEKEYZ Lab. It's going to be the best place to take your playing to the next level. You're going to learn different songs and different approaches to music, where you'll learn how to insert some of these ideas. So go ahead and check that out. I'll have that link down in the description as well. All right, so let's get right into this. So I'm going to go ahead and play this movement once more. Then I'm going to break down the theory behind it. So let's get right into it. Now in this lesson, we're going to talk about the Phrygian scale, or the Phrygian mode. Now, don't get too confused by the names. To be honest, I have no idea why the names were made so complicated, but it's really simple when you break it down the way I'm going to show you right now. So let's start at the top. Most of the time you hear me talk about the major scale, so we're going to start there. The major scale is the most commonly used scale pretty much across all music, okay? And this is usually the first tone scale. So I like to show things in the key of C major because you can see this idea in C and then you can apply it into other keys. So C major is simply playing every note from C to C. Every scale has got 7 unique degrees, and we're gonna be starting from C and ending on C. And that's what we call the C major scale. The technical term for it is like the Ionian scale, which, to be honest, is not necessary. Like, the name sounds really too deep, and if you know anything about this channel, I like to simplify stuff. So we just call this a C major scale, or if you want, you can call this mode number 1. Okay, so this is the first mode. And the reason we call that the first mode is that it starts in the first tone and ends in the first tone. All right, so that's the major scale. Now I've also broken down the minor scale in the guide, which is called the Aeolian scale, which is another complicated name for just the minor scale. So the main difference between the major scale and the minor scale is really just a starting point. So if I'm playing the C major scale, I'm playing it from C to C. If I want to play the minor scale, I find the 6th tone. So I'm going to start down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to play all the C major scale notes, but from A to A. And that's what we call an A minor scale, or you can call this the Aeolian scale. So all right, so it's that simple. It's really not that complicated. If you really want to understand modes, they're just different starting points. So if I'm playing from C to C, for example, that's what we call the Ionian. This would be the Dorian, because we're starting from the 2nd tone and ending on the 2nd. This is the one we're going to be playing today. So this is going to be the Phrygian. It's just going to start from the 3rd tone and end on the 3rd tone. All right, and then the next one after that would be the Lydian, which starts from the 4th to the 4th. Next one up is going to be the Mixolydian, starts from the 5th to the 5th. We've already played this one, which is a minor scale, starts from the 6th to the 6th. The last one is the Locrian, which starts from the 7th to the 7th. Now, the way I like to simplify things, I just like to give each scale a number, or mode a number. So the major scale is the 1, the minor scale is the 6, and the Phrygian, which is what we're going to be focusing on here, is the 3. Okay, so just remember that we're going to be working with the Phrygian, and we're going to use this to create a different ending to a song. Okay, so I'm going to be using Happy Birthday to You, like the ending of Happy Birthday to You. So that's typically how we would end a song. Okay, so that's the 2-5-1 chord progression. I've showed this idea in other lessons, but I'm going to be taking it a step further, and we're going to be using this Phrygian movement to help us create a different mood and a different feel. So pretty sweet, huh? So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using the Phrygian mode to create a different mood. Now you may be wondering how I'm playing all the black notes when we mentioned that this is the Phrygian in the key of C major. The way we're going to approach this is that we're actually going to be playing the Phrygian of the A flat major scale. Okay, and the way to think about that is that because the ending of the song is going to go, and this is going to be like our top note at the end of the movement, we're going to be using the C Phrygian scale. And if you understand the concepts I just mentioned before, every major scale has 7 unique degrees. So if I take this to A flat, Phrygian of A flat is the 3rd mode, right? So the 3rd scale in A flat. So that's what we call the Phrygian in the key of A flat major, but we're going to be using the C Phrygian. But we are in the key of C major for this movement, but we want to borrow a movement from a different key, which is like A flat, but we're going to be using the C Phrygian from A flat. So now what we're going to do is we're going to play this movement, but we want to keep the mood in C major, even though we're going to be using a Phrygian scale from the key of A flat major. Okay. Now, another trick that you can use to help you find the Phrygian of, let's say, maybe A flat, like how I got that one, is because I understand scales, I understand all my major scales and my minor scales. Now I'd ask myself, where is C, the 3rd tone in the scale? And it's in the key of A flat major. So that's how I know that this is a C Phrygian. And I use the A flat major scale, but I start from C and end on C. All right. Same idea that we use in C major. If I'm in the key of C major, how do I know that, let's say, E is the Phrygian? Like, how can I find the E Phrygian scale? Well, if I understand that the Phrygian is the 3rd mode, E is the 3rd in C major. So that's how I can find it. All right. Now, same thing I'm going to be using here, but we're starting on C, and I know that the 3rd tone of A flat major is C, so I'm going to use the Phrygian scale from that. All right, so we're going to be playing the 2-5-1, but instead of playing it like this, and instead of starting the Phrygian scale from C, it's going to mess up the mood. If I play, if you hear that, it sounds like it's off. It sounds like I'm trying to jump into another key. But if I play it this way, you notice that it blends more smoothly back into the key of C major. Okay, so let's quickly break down that movement. So I'm playing the 2-5-1 here, which is like a D minor 7, so like D octaves, G, C, E, and this is like a jazzy 5. This is like a G7 flat 9, so G, F, A flat, B, D. Then I'm going to be playing the Phrygian scale, but we're going to go from, and here I'm going to be playing like an F, C. The left hand is going to start with this D flat. I'm just going to go up the scale, so. And then the movement is going to stop back at that D flat again. So. And I go. Then I resolve. Okay, so one more time. Then we're going to use the Phrygian scale. And I can go. Then I'm going to end it with a C 6-9 chord. So C, G, or D, and then a G, A, D. Okay? So that's a really sweet movement that you can use to spice up the 2-5-1 chord progression. I'm going to play it again, but I'm going to play it slower. So all right, see how that works? And then when you get up to speed, it's going to sound a little bit smoother and cleaner. So it's going to sound like this. All right, so we're going to end this here. Don't want to make this too long and too complicated, but the whole point here is creating a different ending and a different mood using the Phrygian mode or the Phrygian scale. So if you found this helpful, go ahead and leave your feedback in the comment section. So we're going to end this video here, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Peace.